Quick note before we start, we do have some people online, so we're going to ask you to do instructions. If you could kind of use your projecting voice a little bit so they can hear you. So I'm Diana, I'm representative on the mentorship committee. I also run the advisory committee for alumni, so I'm very involved with connecting students and alumni. And I'm here to do a lot of the mentee things. So that's why we kind of folks in here so that we can help both. Maybe we'll do quick introductions. If you can kind of just tell us your name and maybe your perspective, whether that's where you work, what you enjoy, what you do, just so we can for that. So, right on this side.
I'm an online guidance teacher with contact. I'm Mary Jo Hill. I work in recommending the cousins, so I will be away this time. But I think it's very I'm happy in the Alabama I'll be down here.
Wow.
I'm thinking about the I work on the I know that program is no longer available right now, so I'm sorry that right now I'm looking at an after school math program from high school. So my expertise is math and physics, so if anyone has any math questions.
Congrats.
Oh, I'm wrong. I had an academic school, which is my concept my education, and I definitely program. So I really hope that the years that we career technology and having watched this story tonight. So in the market about it, I'm going to I think I want to expand my network. I'm also from this experience, having talked to taking that I feel so bad that is I don't like
Kind of falling on deaf ears. But to speak to it. Yeah. Oh. Like you don't have any much doing with these Private browser, don't remember the code.
Oh, Marla, I didn't even see that little while ago. Karen and I would also join that for whatever number. I think Karen has answered some number there for the dominoes.
Okay, so for people
Yeah,
online,
the number doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Whatever.
Yeah.
I know that was really hard to hear people. Unfortunately, we don't have a great mic set up. We'll try to introduce you as we go. We would like you to introduce yourselves if you can. So we'll ask if you're not speaking to just keep your microphone on mute. And when you are speaking, if you could just take it off. So maybe we'll start with Christine. Just to say hi, who you are.
Hi.
And you're a mentor in the program?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and what field are you in right now?
I'm presently retired. I taught for 34 years and I worked primary, junior, intermediate, high school, and then assessment and programming and resource, which was working with psychologists in the school board in assessing and programming students' intellectual abilities using standardized tests.
Okay, I'm just going to play with this while we go. Tia, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Tia Duke. I am an English teacher, and I'm an English department head. I would like to be a mentor for this program, and I signed up to do so. I'm currently on mat leave. I go back in February, and I have an interest in diversity and equity issues. I currently work teaching a Black Voices English 12U course that focuses on Black literature. And I also work with ELL students. And I'm looking forward to being a part of this group in the meeting.
Okay, Teresa, can you introduce yourself? I know we can't see you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get
I'm a first year student of a master program, and it's educational psychology. a developmental psychology and education. And as English is my second language, I just find some difficulty in writing academic paper, and especially in recent months or so, we need to choose the topic for the final paper. So I'm just struggling with how I'm going to frame my thesis, and I don't know what I mean. Although I have chosen some variables, but I cannot somehow explain the importance of it after speaking to a person-to-person tutorial, or I mean, she's a PhD student who gave me advice on how to write that academic paper, which means that it seems that I need to read more papers about it, but I think that I have already read like 15 or 20 papers, and it really takes me a lot of time, but I cannot produce something that would worries me a lot. And I also find that some papers could be simple, but others could be really hard to understand. I mean, the research method and some term or language they use, or the way that they carry out the experiment, or the way that they handle statistics. So I think I maybe I want to find someone who could guide me. I mean, through how to write a standard paper or something.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and we'll try to
I also noticed that Miss Tia Duke, it works with English and second ESL, right? English and second language students. So I don't know whether you come across students like that who struggle with English.
What we might do, we're going to have a discussion in a couple minutes, and we're going to put you guys in breakout rooms. So maybe we'll make sure the two of you go in the same breakout room.
Okay, thank you.
For the rest of people online, sorry, I'm just trying to troubleshoot getting the sound out, because I think you guys are having trouble hearing, right? So I think what we might do is start going into the videos, and then we'll come back to introductions once we've figured it out, just because I don't want you to have to do it twice. Is that okay for everyone? Yeah, okay. So let's see if we can get these to work. So the format today, what we really want to do is a lot of discussion. We know everyone has kind of a different concern. Everyone has a different reason for being here. So we're just here to help facilitate discussion. We're going to have some guidance, but it's really not a lecture style. That's not the point today. So we're going to show some quick videos, and please feel free to interrupt us as we go. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. If you just came in, if you want to introduce yourself. Natalie, can we possibly get any comments up here? Yeah, I don't know what the sound is. It's on my laptop right now. Sorry? I don't even know if the videos are because which is weird because the video is running.
I'm Bob. I remember what year I got elementary, high school, and good to see young people coming through, and I know that there's many, and that's what I do. And just trying to that.
Great. Yep. I think we're gonna wait for the online just 15 minutes so I can get the rest of them working. Okay, so we're gonna try the video. I'm having a bit of technical difficulties, but I'm hoping it's gonna work.
What is a mentor? A mentor is one of a network of helping relationships that provides tasks and emotional support and also serves as a role model. I think the key to this definition is that mentoring does not have to be a monogamous relationship. This should take some pressure off of you. It is not your responsibility to fulfill all of your protege's needs all the time. Teach your protege what you're best at doing and help them connect for other support they need. Encourage your protege to think about you as part of a network of mentors and not the only one. For example, when Mark Zuckerberg was starting Facebook, he was smart enough to know what he didn't know, which was being a CEO. So Zuckerberg wisely developed a mentoring relationship with Donald Graham, the CEO of the Washington Post. Zuckerberg needed coaching on leading an organization, and in return, Zuckerberg reverse mentored Graham about social media. So what do great mentors actually do? First, they give task support. They provide task support through sponsorship, introductions, and critical feedback. For example, it's really interesting to know that Google co-founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page had the late, great Steve Jobs as their mentor. Jobs gave them critical advice and provided key introductions as their company was growing. Second, great mentors provide emotional support such as counseling, affirmation, and encouragement. For example, when singer Justin Bieber was starting out, the famous musician Usher took him under his wing and told him he believed in him. Speaking words of possibility and hope to your protege can be so powerful. Third, great mentors serve as positive role models. Remember, proteges are watching and learning from you all the time. Consider, what is it that you most want your proteges to learn from you? And finally, great mentors know that the best mentoring relationships are a two-way street. This means you can expect not only to give something in your mentoring relationship, but to get something back as well. For most of us, we spend more time working and being with coworkers than any other activity in our whole life. After 20 years of research into mentoring, I'm more convinced than ever that being a great mentor can make you feel more engaged at work and happier in general.
And then I'm going to hand it over to Peter.
And some of the and I want you to start thinking about how kinds of things and on those things.
Yeah, I think it's about 10 minutes, but we can extend it. Okay. So for everyone online, we're doing, can everyone hear me okay? Can you maybe give me a head nod if you can hear me? Okay. So I'm going to put you into breakout groups. Let me look at the chat. Yes, people are going into groups.
Are you a mentor?
I just put them into breakout groups because it's so loud in here. So Okay, is everyone back? Oh, sorry, it's muted. Okay, so we're gonna watch another video, and then I'm gonna put. You might just have to mute. Okay, and then I'm gonna put. Okay, I'm gonna put you in groups of 2, so you can chat privately instead of chatting in the big group. So we're gonna watch this in 1 sec.
With Emily, I asked her to do the following exercise. To create affirmations for her upcoming pitch. I asked Emily to write down 30 statements that began with the phrase, I am. For Emily, lack of confidence is the Achilles heel for many proteges. I have seen mentees wanting so much to succeed, but lacking confidence, not only in their interactions with their mentor, but also in the stretch assignments their mentors give them. In this video, we will review several techniques that will build your confidence in general to help you be your best self as a protege. Before we talk about the techniques, I want to introduce you to my protege, Emily, who is a budding entrepreneur. Emily had the opportunity to meet with some venture capitalists for funding. As her mentor, I gave her the assignment to put together a pitch. She shared with me that she was so anxious about the pitch presentation, she was thinking about not pursuing her business. So I suggested she use several confidence-boosting tools. The first technique to try before you do something challenging are positive affirmations. An affirmation is defined as a positive phrase that you repeat to yourself, which describes how you want to be. Research cited in a 2016 Wall Street Journal article demonstrates that affirmations can change habits and boost confidence. An affirmation is like a pep talk you give yourself. Sometimes we need to give ourselves a pep talk before meeting with a mentor or before following up on a mentor's recommendations that you find challenging. With Emily, I asked her to do the following exercise to create affirmations for her upcoming pitch. I asked Emily to write down 30 statements that began with the phrase, I am. For Emily, she came up with statements like, I am confident, I am enjoying this pitch, I am prepared and it shows, I am authentic, and so on. Now you try this exercise. Set your timer for 5 to 8 minutes. Don't judge or censor yourself. Remember, the purpose of this exercise is to come up with statements that positively reflect how you want to feel. Think of something specific, like an upcoming meeting with your mentor or a challenge that your mentor has assigned to you. Your goal is to write down 30 positive statements about how you would like to feel and behave. Begin with the phrase, I am. Ready? Pause the video and take 5 to 8.
Myself. Here we go. Okay. So, sorry? Thank you. So I know this is going to really depend on what your goal is, what you're worried about, what you think you need to do affirmations about. So I have some other prompts as well. Things like I would like if you're working towards a goal, what that might be. I have if you have resources that you can tap into. Sometimes that's helpful. I'm looking forward to if there's something you're trying to psych yourself up about, like a networking opportunity, that might be great. And we are going to get you to break back into mentor-mentee pairs. So mentors, you could share a few of yours if you'd like, or you can help your mentee to come up with some of their statements. What we're going to do first, though, is give you about 30 seconds to just think about it, and then we'll get you to chat quickly. And you're not, you don't have to share if you're not comfortable, but you can talk generally about the exercise. We'll give you a couple seconds now just to think about it, and then we'll break you off into So I know you won't have come up with 30, obviously, but we don't want to put you on the spot for 30 because that's a lot. So even if you have a couple prepared and you can talk about, even to say, I have an upcoming presentation, I'm a little worried, these are some things I'm thinking about. So we're going to give you about 5 minutes to discuss in your same groups, different groups, it's completely up to you, and then we'll check back in. So I'm going to I'm putting them all in rooms of 2. Yeah, and so for everyone online, what I'm going to say, you have a specific partner, so if you can message them.
So are you going to be going around to see how they do it?
Yes, I'm just setting up the online quickly, and then I'm gonna, oh, these two don't have a partner. Sorry, I'm gonna come around in 2 seconds. I'm gonna move her over because she doesn't have a partner. Can I leave you to look at the breakout rooms for a second if I jump around?
Sure, and what exactly do they have to discuss?
Their I am statements, so something they're kind of like nervous about, and then ways they can like psych themselves up. Yeah. Yeah, I'll open the chat.
Okay, so I'm going to do that with the class next week. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see. We'll see. And then I brought anyway, I haven't had a check. I think probably in the spring. There's a course Saturday.
Diana, who is this person? Dawn has to join this person, but Dawn says that the chat room is empty. So who is this person?
I don't know. I'll move Dawn to another group, maybe.
Yeah, maybe with this person.
Oh, but they haven't joined yet.
Oh,
they have to be green to be joined.
So then maybe with this.
Yeah. Okay. So Dawn, I'm gonna move you to breakout room 6.
Oh, she's here.
Oh, Zara. Zara, can I move you into a room? Oh yeah, she's there. Okay, so let me move him to breakout room 3. Okay, so Dawn, you should get an invite that pops up inviting you to breakout room 3. And if you click join, it should hopefully bring you in.
What just happened?
So some people are still, what did the chat just say? Some people are still in the main group, like they haven't joined the room yet.
Zara joined the room.
Yeah, I think so. Dawn, did you get the invite? Oh, okay. I'm going to try to put you guys in the same group. Okay. I'm going to try to put you all in the same room.
But they can always chat.
Yes.
Dawn has joined the room, and again, there's nobody else.
Let me show you. Well, because there's pressure too. Let me move Shelly down because there's 2 of them here. Good job.
I went through to be a high board. I wanted to go back to being so now all of a sudden,
It's going to give people a 2-minute warning. Maybe give them a 2-minute warning.
Oh, I know. It was nerve-wracking because they timed me. You can't go all this next slide, next slide. Well, that's the whole, I then you just reading off whatever you wrote down. How are you getting? When they ask you questions at the end, and then was looking at but that's something that you might want to see about. You want to compare your experience. You never know what somebody's said now you know. No problem. I have okay, so you do your items. I'm mindful. I'm mindful.
If you can play through, I think even Miss Leslie would have been correct. That's just this last one where we paused at 42 seconds.
Yeah, the rooms are going to close in 45 seconds. And I can't figure out why this blue line is here. I don't know what
I noticed that too, yeah, but all good. Yeah, so just follow these times. I think this is a full video probably.
It is this one, right? Yeah.
If you want, I can just do it now that I'm here. I just thought, yeah, lots of people.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. So this one we've done.
Yes. So we'll do this one. Yeah, okay. We'll play the full video. Then we'll play the full 4-minute video when we say the next 2 or less. And then I'll let you, I don't know if Cindy wants to. Sure. I think we can just stick with you. If you want to skip people to raise their hands. People may know it, and they might just right now. So just ask them. I'm just saying.
starting off good conversations. I know it's really not great to interrupt you. We just have a few more videos we want to do really quickly to do one last discussion. So the first one is about myths and mentors, because I think sometimes it's easy to take on a lot of responsibility if you're a mentor. So we want to talk about that a little bit. And then the second two are just a bit about trust and how you can really build trust in your relationship. So we're going to watch all three of them. They're pretty short, they're about a minute, and then we'll have another last discussion. So you will get a chance to talk to each other again. We just want to give you a few more resources while we're here. Sorry, Peter and Cindy, I don't know if you want to say anything. Good? Okay.
Sometimes we can get a little intimidated when it comes to mentoring because of all these myths that are in our heads. So let's take some of those myths and let's bust them. Myth number one, what you're trying to do is create a mini you. No, what you're trying to do instead is help them become their best selves. Myth number two, you have to have all the answers. What you're trying to do instead is you're sharing perspectives and helping them arrive at their own answers. Myth number three, you have to be right all the time. What you have to do instead is understand what they need and give them what they need at the moment. Now, when you take all of these myths and you're able to bust them, guess what? You're a lot further along on your mentorship journey than you think you are. As human beings, we are not wired to process.
When you think of a time at work when someone earned your trust or when someone betrayed your trust, trust is the foundation of most effective relationships. This is especially true for mentoring. Trust is defined as being truthful, consistent, and transparent. Let's look at 5 ways to build trust with your mentor. First, assess the trust in your relationship with your mentor. To help you reflect on the trust you have with your mentor, I have developed a mentoring trust assessment tool. This tool is available in the exercise files. Here are a few questions from the tool for you to consider. Do I communicate honestly with my mentor? Do my actions match my words when I'm working with my mentor? Do I share personal stories with my mentor? Second, build trust by taking a risk and self-disclosing. For example, recently I had a protege who had been mentoring all year long. Our relationship had gone from great to awful in just a few months. She was not returning emails and was canceling meetings. When I finally did meet with her, I was annoyed, but I asked her what was going on. I was shocked when she shared that she was a cancer survivor and she had been unavailable because she had experienced a reoccurrence scare and had been coping with that. At this point, I had a choice. I could choose to express my sympathy and pivot the conversation back to career topics, or I could match my protege's level of disclosure and go deeper, which is what I did. I shared with her that I too was a cancer survivor. This defining moment in our relationship, initiated by my protege self-disclosing, really accelerated our mutual trust in each other. Third, keep secrets sacred and be your mentor's best advocate. The more comfortable your mentor becomes with you, the more your mentor will share. Research by scholars, including Eby and Skandura, investigating toxic mentoring relationships, demonstrates conclusively that failing to keep your mentor's confidences private is one of the most damaging acts you can perform. Also, whenever you have the opportunity, act as an advocate and agent for your mentor. Writing an endorsement on LinkedIn is a great way to do this. Always share your mentor's accomplishments, not their secrets. Fourth, be a truth teller to your mentor. In my research, I spoke with a general who talked about how his protege built trust by serving as a truth teller to him. He said as a leader, he was surrounded by people who praised and agreed with him. He said truth was a scarce commodity. The general's protege became one of the few people in his network that would tell him the critical feedback he needed to hear. Fifth, set and communicate boundaries. As a protege, you need to decide what are your boundaries with your mentor. For example, several years ago, I was the mentee of someone who was going through a difficult divorce. I felt very uncomfortable when he shared his marital woes, and I told him that. My mentor was embarrassed, but really respected that I communicated my boundaries. As we get closer to people, it's natural that our boundaries get tested. So just listen to your gut and speak up to your mentor if this happens. Trust is the foundation for successful mentoring relationships. The most important idea here is that if you want to build trust with your mentor, you must be trustworthy. Research by scholars Murphy and Cram in their book, Strategic Relationships at Work, shows
You can be the most brilliant person in the world with the knowledge of a library, but unless the person you're speaking with is able to do something with what you're sharing with them, it doesn't matter. And the key to making it stick with them is trust. They have to believe that you have their best interest at heart. And so here's 3 tips for building that trust. 1, take the time to know them. Understand their fears, their motivations, their hopes, and their dreams. 2, help them understand their strengths and their weaknesses. Help them be their best self. 3, just be human with them. So as I'm thinking about trust in mentorship,
We could kind of watch videos like that for days. There are a whole series, and we'll give you all those links. So if there's anything you're curious about in terms of a lot of the tips, you're more than welcome to look into these videos afterwards. What we'd like to do now is just give you one last opportunity to kind of speak with your mentor, mentee, whoever you connected with, and just to talk about what we saw a little bit. So how are you building trust? They talked a lot about some tricky things like disclosure and boundaries. So how do you think that is best in you? And we're going to float around so we can talk with you about it. So we'll give you about 10 minutes to talk now. Okay, everyone online, we're going to try breakout groups. Hopefully they work.
Oh dear, never mind a thing. Or either mind no one is there for her. Oh, very good. Start me that high. So I just no, I don't. No. Oh, that serious? So you have someone else? Right. And now I can do it. So what do you do to build trust? But even in general. In general, you need to open about who you want.
Oh yeah, so
Go ahead. In a professional relationship, and you build trust. Right. Well, for our values, that is the balance. But I think trust is a byproduct of honesty. Somebody's honest, then you're trustful to build it. That's not one of ideas and things. So that they know that they think they're cool, but really, I don't know what's their. Use that lingo when you understand big. Don't use it. I remember. Yeah, it was like not good. Not especially here, right? Well, I really got into my 10-year-old when I asked him, I really, okay, I got it. Yeah, but you knew yeah, you were really, like my mom was like, that's weird. I can see it. No, you're right. They're trying to tell you what it is. They're trying to, but they like that. They like to tell you about themselves. Yeah. They like to be a drawing. Yeah, they like to be like those teachers. They're teaching me something. I don't know what they're saying. Right? You think the teacher knows everything, but then now the whole culture. Kids. They tell you, oh yeah, so let's see somebody that died for that. Whatever it is. I don't know. Because I wrote it down in the notes. Because I wrote down my name and this coach. But that's not how it. You know, it's just the S coach. Yeah. Okay. They think it's cool for them to do that. So many people you don't know. They like to be like you don't know something, but they do. So now when we explain the benefits and we go hospitality, of course. Bring some notes, some questions, right? As things happen, write everything down so that when you meet your mentor and you're on the phone or you already have it. I don't know, I have a question, I can't remember. So have a little journal, write down something you want Yes. Oh.
You need to change your draft.
Yeah, I just I need some clarification. I would like to be in FaceTime, or I don't know what other things you guys do. I'm just computer things on these phones. You know what I mean? Oh, this is fun. That would look exactly like mine. It's your house party like Thank you. Thank you. I need a more people. I tell you that I asked.
Okay, everyone, I think we're going to regroup for about 30 seconds.
They're very
So thank you for all the great chats. We are going to stay in the room till about 3 o'clock. You want to chat a little. We'll have some networking time at the end. But I'm going to turn it over to Cindy and Peter, who are going to do some recapping for you.
Thank you, Diana. So I'm glad you had a chance to explore some of those videos, some of your thoughts behind and also she's our president of the Alumni Association as well. So we're here to help sort of give you some ideas as well. But first off, I'd like you to think about what you've been discussing in your small groups and look at some of the ways to build trust in relationships. Who can identify some of the ways of building trust in relationships? Just show of hands and we'll ask you to explore. Yes, is it David?
Tom.
Okay.
Talk clearly. Don't say anything that you don't do. And make your words match with your actions.
That's right. Okay, very open. That's good. Right. Excellent. Anything else?
I think in order to build a relationship, any type of relationship, you need to be honest. And so once they see that you're transparent and honest, then they will be more receptive. I find.
Right. So you're building inroads to making people feel comfortable with you. Any other comments? Yeah. That's right. Your interest in someone will be very important as a long-term connection. Because people will do more if they know that they feel something. Right?
Reveal your humanity. Let them know that you're just as human as they are.
Right. Very good. Do you think of anything else?
Be upfront as well when you meet the first time. Just let them know this is a two-way relationship. Let's be honest. If you just say the word, we'll be honest, we'll be truthful to each other. I think sometimes if you just assume that the person is going to be honest and you're going to be honest, that's happen. So it's nice to say, this is a two-way relationship. I'm really looking forward to working with you guys to work that will be honest.
That's a good point. Right?
And not be judgmental.
That's right.
That's really important.
Okay. And one final thing, anyone else? Anything else? You want to say? About preparedness, right? You have to be prepared as a mentee coming into the situation, knowing what kind of things you'd like to get out of it, and also a timeline of sort. And in the same way, the mentor has to be prepared too to address those kind of issues, structure. Okay, very good. So you've got some good foundation issues there in terms of looking at trust. And there will be other things that come along the way. But we'd like to hear about your feedback. So when you hear about new things, new thoughts you had, by all means, let us know through the website. What kinds of things can you do to add value to mentoring relationships? What kinds of things could you do to add value to mentoring relationships from a mentor or mentee's perspective? Any thoughts?
Work on specific goals.
Specific goals, very good, yes. Good. Anything else? Accountability, very important, because you want to make sure that they're following through on something, right? You're not just opening up.
I think it's important to set timeline. Right. Achievement time.
Right.
So that you have a target to work towards.
Okay. Very good. Good. Anything else we can think of?
We have something online from Don.
Okay, Don.
So say adding value to the relationship, buy them lunch because most students are broke.
Oh, okay. And having a nice meal together is a great way to start a conversation, engaging too. So that's a fair.
And actually, that's what I was going to add, is that you want to be you. So, and as a student, students are broke, take them out to lunch, take them to coffee, but also just, it's not a real, it shouldn't be a structured time. Like, make time, go out and see, watch a game, or go to the movies, or just walk down the street. Like, make it a relationship that's two-way, that you can just be yourself, you can hang out. It doesn't have to be formal, professional. I'm here to get this, and this, and you're here to give me this. It shouldn't work that way. It should be collegial and fun.
I have 3 mentors this year, and they were interested in knowing the difference between elementary and secondary. And because I service both, we're going to go on a field trip. So they're helping with me a day in the life of a guidance counselor, certified. So we're doing that. So we're kind of shadowing.
Right.
So I've already spoken to my principals and do some networking with some of them there. So we're going to organize a field trip.
Yes, that's an excellent idea. Is to find some value for the mentee and identify something you do. So either way, what's really okay, super. So I'm going to move on to
one more from Paul.
we have one more online response.
Which says that Lao Tzu taught that it is not what you know, but who you know that counts. So brokering connections for the mentee adds terrific value.
Excellent point. Yes, yes. Connections are really important. It's true. And mentoring is the foundation to build those. Okay, now the third and final question we have is, can you name a few ways in which you can be prepared as a mentee? How can a mentee develop preparedness? How can they prepare themselves? What kinds of things would they do? Steps would they take? I'd like to hear from a mentee. Come prepared with questions, it's right, because you want to know about something, right? And you want to feel comfortable in asking those kind of questions. Anything else? Anyone? Okay. So taking action, right? Anything else? What would you do in terms of statement?
I've done that, but what I've done in the past, like one of my classes. When you finish that, I like to say, what did you do?
That's right. That's sort of like you're learning on the spot and also reflecting on the process that you're going through as well. But what other kinds of things can a mentee do to prepare themselves when they go into the session? What would you do? You would write a statement of some sort regarding.
I was just going to say with my mentees, I give them a journal. And so they're to journal. And that's where they would write their questions and any kind of feelings that they had, or some situation that happened.
Right.
And then we go back and we look at it and say, okay, how did you handle that? What was a positive thing about that? What would you change about that? So we kind of do that.
Okay, very good. So confidence statements, right? That's that's excellent. So those are some of the main points that you want to look at. And there'll be lots of things that you can gather from the videos as well. So we'll be sending links to you on those videos. So you can spend your own time going through that. But by all means, come back and ask questions to us if you have any questions you need answered.
And we have another, sorry,
One more.
response to this question, which is, he or she, the mentee, can craft a short checklist of meeting topics. That's what Paul said.
Right, yeah, that's great. So that's keeping again in focus as to what kind of things are wanting to be sort of attended to. Okay, so I think we've reached the end of our questions here, and I think we'll have time for sort of unstructured networking. You'd like to network with each other or with your mentee if they're in the room or mentor.
We also have some feedback forms on the side. So we've really been asking people if this is useful, if you'd like another session, what would be best for you. So if you could fill one of those out, we'd absolutely love to get your feedback while you're doing this.
And we'll be here to mingle with you, and if you have any questions, you can certainly ask myself or you. Thank you.
Vanessa?
Yeah, you can get it in like PowerPoint. Wow, apparently she like colored in all the clouds. Yeah, because she took all the other buildings over there. Oh no, this is a different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what. I don't know what happened. It's my lab. Hi, how are you? I'm so glad you were able to come. Oh, great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Is she your mentor? No, okay. And now yeah, which is like
She was sitting with Alan. Like on the chair back there. Yeah. She wasn't asking the
So what type of curriculum are you developing? So, and well, I mean, just like yes, I will have fun. I love you. Yeah, but now I know that. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, I remember we spoke. Okay, yes.
And that's fine. And
everyone. I see we still have a few people online. Sorry, I was floating around a bit. We're going to email out a feedback form, so we'd love to get your feedback. I know we had a lot of technical issues, so we'd love to hear about those issues, and hopefully we can troubleshoot them for next time. Yeah, and I'm sorry for those of you if it was frustrating. I know it's difficult to work around them, so yeah, we'd just really love to hear about your experiences, and yeah, hopefully we can help a bit more next time. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to end the session now, but we will talk to you all soon. Thanks so much for coming.
Yeah. Most people don't. Thank you.